Hello and welcome. He's often called the king of Bollywood, and almost everything he touches turns to gold. But he certainly faced a lot of challenges on the path to his remarkable stardom. This week on 101, meet the man long considered the Indian film industry's hottest property, Shah Rukh Khan. Few could have predicted the incredible success of this baby, born in India's capital, New Delhi, although Shah Rukh Khan showed early promise as a performer at home. His parents, Mir Taj Mohammed and Latif Fatima, a photogenic couple, passed away while he was still young, leaving him feeling a little lost. Shah Rukh's passion for and ability in sports were never fully realized because of early injuries, pushing him into other interests such as acting. A trip to India's film capital, Mumbai, launched him quickly into Bollywood's limelight, and he continued to knock out one blockbuster after another, from Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, one of his many famous collaborations with his close producer friend Karan Johar, to colourful epics such as Devdas. In spite of his remarkable omnipresence, at heart Shah Rukh Khan remains a relatively private person and dedicated family man, and remarkably down to earth. Not bad for a superstar who initially thought he'd just try out a little acting. Shah Rukh Khan, what a delight to talk with you.
Thank you, Riz, and thank you to call me on the show, and really wonderful to see you again.
Now, not to massage your ego, because it's widely known, you're pretty much at the top of the game. Your status as an actor is way beyond pretty much anyone else has, globally, because the way Indians are so loyal as well. But you've managed to stay at the top for quite a long time now. What is it do you think that you do that keeps you so in tune with the audience?
I don't know, my wife tells me I should keep my mouth shut. that will help her to maintain that position, or maybe that's it. But honestly speaking, I think I keep it very simple, Riz. I've always kept it very simple. So I wake up in the morning and I'm like, can I get that one shot right? Like I thought 20 years ago, that I hope I get that shot right. And I keep telling my wife, you know, I find it strange, I'm 44 now, and I wear makeup to work.
Hey,
maybe okay.
Me too.
Yeah, so we are all the same. Yeah, but I find it that, you know, I've kept it so simple. I'm not bothered about you know, what I'm going to do through the world of cinema for the world. No, I just want to make a film in which I am able to tell you a good story. So I think that really, keeping it simple and keeping it real, like everyone says, a lot of people in America, keep it simple, keep it real. I think that really is the mantra, nothing else.
Do you still feel challenged as an actor, though, considering all the diverse roles you've done?
I do now, because, you know, I've reached an age where I'm noticing people are not giving me the kind of roles which were just run-of-the-mill and happy-go-lucky, you know, just come and let your hair fly in the air and sing a song in Switzerland and take the girl in your arms and run. Suddenly, I've passed that age, I realized that, and my friends and filmmakers now don't come with, it's a love story, or it's an action film. I think they are challenging me.
Let me take you back in time. Born in New Delhi, what were those early years like?
I remember them I think after I was 6 years old. I remember it very vividly because Delhi, beautiful cold fog, and I remember sitting on the ledge of this, you know, Delhi houses have verandas, small bungalows. So I used to sit on this wall, and my father told me that girls used to pass by, and I used to blow kisses to them and say, sweetheart. So I remember that, and I remember my father, there was a girl who walked into a house. This is my first memory. And it's very, very vivid. A girl walked into a house from the convent of Jesus and Mary. She must be 9th or 10th. And she walked in and told my dad that your son sits on this wall and blows kisses to me. There was this young, handsome man next to a house called Subhash. I still remember his name, Subhash Bhaiya, we used to call him. And my dad thought she's come in the wrong house. Obviously, it's that young boy who's blowing kisses to her. He said, wait, let my son come. And I was taking a bath. And I came running in. I was 6 years old. And I walked in, and my father, like, you know, this is my kid, darling, and you made a fool of yourself by coming here. I walked in and said, mwah, hey, sweetheart. So he tells me it's one of the most embarrassing moments of my life when he was alive. Post that, I remember being with my parents, only hearing that my dad used to be successful. I was with my dad, and I'm very proud of this. I'm very proud of this. I think my dad was the most successful failure in the world.
I read that.
Yeah, because I was so proud because he spent a lot of time with me. And he would not have money. We would travel in buses, looking forward to buying a half ticket for me because he didn't have the money. You know, change. He used to take out these really, really small 5 paisa coins which were dirty, and he would just pay that off and get me onto the train. Didn't have food money, so he would give me groundnuts, peanuts. And I'm not saying we were poor, it's just that he was like that. But he taught me really good things, really, really nice things.
Just listening to you, I know he was a very, very big influence in your life, and it comes out in the passion when you talk about him. Very sadly, you lost him when you were about 15 years old.
Yeah.
What did that do to you?
I thought the world was very unfair. I mean, if I talk about it, I'll start crying because I was very young, didn't expect it. He was 52. You know, suddenly he had cancer, and all kids think that their fathers are superheroes. I never thought he'll die. I thought, you know, because he was a tough guy, 6'2", very good looking, and really tough. He genuinely was a Pathan, so very tough. And I thought nothing can happen to him. He was the only patient, which I remember again, who didn't lose his hair with chemotherapy. So you know, we would walk into the hospital, and it was very scary because sometimes the beds used to be empty. He was on a common ward, and you'd walk in, and my dad would just look at us, and you know, he'd do this, roll his eyes, and say that he's gone. And sometimes we walked in, and our dad wasn't there, but he'd gone for chemotherapy. But it was really harrowing. And then one fine evening, he just died. You know, he went back to the hospital and he died. And I remember our driver had left because of the odd hours. Our driver left the car and he went away. And I had to see my father's dead body and drive my mom back home. And I didn't know how to drive. I was 15. So I sat in the car and I started driving. And we reached home, and mom said, "When did you learn how to drive?" And I said, "I don't know. I just did." I'd never learned how to drive. And it was this strange thing that my father had died. I was driving a car, and my sister was really shocked. She fell sick. She's never recovered. She still hasn't recovered. She's much better off. But it was really, really shocking, really shocking. And it's something I've never been able to get over. And I tell everyone asks me my belief in God. So at the age of 15, I started getting angry with God. I used to be like, "Allah, why did you do this to me?" While I was still angry and fighting with God, everyone does, my mom died.
Yeah, soon after, wasn't it?
So I continued, still being angry with God, that this is really unfair. And then since she's died a year later, and till now, 20 years, I'm the hugest star with so much love. I've been thanking God. So my relationship with God has been so long, fighting, anger, disturbance, thank you, thank you, thank you, that I think, suddenly become a great believer in God, you know.
Your parents were a great influence in many ways because they represent what India is about to so many people. And that is that though you're a Muslim family, they taught you to read other religions and understand other religions too.
Well, my father was really wonderful like that, and so was my mother. He would take me for namaz. He would take me to the Eidgahs. We did everything that a Muslim is supposed to do. We did our wazu, we did our namaz, we read the Quran, everything. We were a fairly strict, proper Muslim family, and everything was followed to the T. But in the same breath, I was acting in Ram Leelas as part of the Hanuman Sena. So I knew the Hindu culture. And because I was in a Christian school, I was learning the Bible also. And my father would tell me, and strangely what happened is, when I read the Gita and the Ramayana, it was in Hindi. I understood it. When I read the Bible, it was in English. I understood it. And my father suddenly turned around and said, "You know what, you got to understand Islam also in English. So read it. Read all the books and make up your mind. Know that you're Muslim, and Islam means tolerance. So first thing is get tolerant towards all the religions." So I try to do that with my kids. Of course, it's changed. I make them read all this on the internet now. You know, it's all there. But I try to teach them. So that was really, really wonderful of them.
Interesting you mentioned about Hindi because that was your worst subject in school, wasn't it? Until your mother gave you the incentive of studying it so you could go to a movie.
Yeah, she told me that I used to get 0 or 1 out of 10. Those marks out
you
of 10.
You were good in other subjects though.
I was good in other subjects, yeah. I was good.
So
and teachers used to love me.
Hindi was a problem subject.
Hindi was pathetic. Hindi was pathetic. And also I think I had this little, being in an English-speaking school, I had this superiority complex. I looked down upon, you know, we were cooler, way cooler than to learn Hindi and Urdu and stuff like that. We used to speak Urdu at home, Persian, Arabic. But I just never looked at it. Then mom said, "You get 10 on 10 and I'll take you to watch a movie." And the movie was Joshila with Devanand Saab. And I just found out 6 months back that Mr. Yash Chopra had directed it. And it was an action film, and he said, "I don't know why I directed that film. I have no to do. I've never done an action film. I just did this film." It was shocking. I didn't know he had directed it, and I worked so closely with him. He just told me 6 months back. He had read in an interview. So I got 10 on 10, and it was a spelling exam. And I went to see my first movie in Vivek Cinema Hall in Pusa Road near Delhi, Rajdhanagar, and I was thrilled. It's a great film.
But it's interesting because then the life changed. You went from New Delhi to Bombay, Mumbai, as it is now.
Mother died in 91, and 81 dad had died, 91 mom died exactly 10 years later. And I was very depressed. And by then, television, some work had happened, and people started calling me, and the first call came from Reema Lagoo, and I wouldn't believe it. She'd say, "Hello, this is Reema," and I would like, it can't be, you know, somebody's pulling my leg. And then after mom died, I took one of those calls seriously and really asked, "Is that Reema Lagoo?" And she said, "Yes, I want you to do a film." I didn't want to be in films, and I say that with not being derogatory, it's just that I didn't think I was cut out for Hindi films. I wasn't that good. But I came to Mumbai, told my girlfriend then, who's my wife now, and my sister, who was very unwell, very, very unwell. And I told a few of the family members that I go to Mumbai for a change 1 year. I told my friends in theatre, I'm going for 1 year, and I'll go there, and just for, I don't want to, Delhi reminds me of my mom and dad. Small house, I had nothing. I had nothing left. And I'm like, I just go for a year. My wife was against it. She said, oh, you'll become a movie star, then you sleep around with heroines and you'll do nonsense. So I'm like, listen, 1 year, I just want to go. So she's okay, I'll get married to you, we'll go. So she got married to me. I came for a year. My friends are still waiting. Whenever I meet them, they say, Shahrukh, you said you're coming back after a year. And I'm like, yeah, as soon as they throw me out, I'll go. Right now, they're employing me.
Well, things change. I'm going to ask you more about that in a moment. We're taking a very short break here. More with Shahrukh Khan when we return.